We had an awesome live stream here on YouTube with a bunch of other content creators from the game talking about the new content that's about to drop, Sronos, the city. So you're going to want to check that out. And I have some of that stuff I shared I'm going to be sharing here in this video. Also want to talk about the new December event that's coming on and some of the things that are going on today in Raid. Welcome, I'm the Deadwoodjedi. So there's a few things going on today in Raid. There's a couple things coming up in the month of December that I'm actually personally really excited about. And of course, I wanted to talk briefly about what we did yesterday on stream here on YouTube, which I thought was a really fun kind of thing, talking about the new big content drop, Sronos, I can't say the name, the city of Sronos and the 4 new dungeons that are coming with that. And so I'll have a little video, audio, visual treat at the end of this video for you guys if you're so interested. But yeah, that's what I want to do today. So let's kind of jump right into it as I switch scenes here. All right, so I want to start off talking about this event, the things that are kind of going on in game. So right now today, there's a guaranteed 100 void shard. You get Valkynen if on your 100th void shard. Now, I just recently posted a video today actually talking about my void shard pulls this weekend. Am I happy about this? Not really. Not really. Wouldn't have minded getting this guy. Definitely wouldn't have minded it. But that's okay. These things happen. But more importantly, you know, if you have a bunch of voids sitting around and you didn't pull them, well, this is a great opportunity to get a guaranteed legendary champion. Is Valkynen a game breaker? I don't think so. But, you know, doesn't hurt to get another legendary out there. And I think, obviously, it's probably going to be very good. Void legendaries tend to be really good champions. We also have 3x speed sets going on in Dragon Lair today. And we also, this is Wednesday the 29th, I should say. And then on Friday, we'll have a 3x for Ogryn Tribe accessories and Spider Den. I don't know why that would be something you'd be really eager to do. But if you are, there it is. But that's not the big news I want to talk about. The big news I want to talk about is this Yuletide Titan event coming in December. I think this is absolutely fantastic, quite frankly. This sounds really cool, and it sounds like, you know, maybe I'm just reading into it a little bit, but it sounds like Plarium maybe is listening to us just a smidge. So this, I think, is going to be a real nice thing. But we'll have to see, obviously, until it comes out and seeing the details of how good of an event this is going to be. But I'm very excited. For a couple reasons, but let's talk about the event. It's going to go from Friday, December 1st, all the way to Monday, December 25th, basically until Christmas. And so it's going to be a full 25 days. Basically, starting from the first through the event, they're going to have daily free offers that will grant you 20 snow or Titan points, right? Every single day. So just by logging in, by the end of the event, you'll be able to accumulate up to 500 snow points. That's just the free stuff. That's without having to do anything. In total, during the course of the event, you'll be able to earn 2,500 snow points. So 500 for free, 2,500 available, and that includes the free ones, right? 1,530 snow points during the first half of the event, and 970 snow points during the second half of the event. But you're only going to need 2,000 snow points to unlock all the milestone rewards. So what does that mean is that out of 2,500 that's available, you only need to get 2,000 of them to be able to get all the rewards from the milestone event. So that's pretty cool. And they make a point to this saying that you're able to skip 500 points worth of events or tournaments of your choosing. This is exactly what we've been talking about when it comes to fusions, that we need more flexibility in the schedule, more options as far as, you know, choices that we want to make in the direction of our account when doing these events and stuff. This is a really good thing. I mean, that's 20% of the points. We're getting 20% free, and there's another 20% that we can completely skip. That means we really only have to worry about doing 60% of the event as long as we log in. I think that's pretty cool, right? So at least it sounds cool. We'll obviously have to see how you get those points, what's required of it. But if it's anything like the fusions that we've had in the past or other events, it shouldn't be too crazy, right? You're going to get a bunch of them from doing dungeon events, dungeon tournaments, right? Different, obviously champion training, obviously summoning. That's definitely going to be a thing. But it sounds like we're going to be able to skip at least some of that, right? Which I think is so vital. Makes this something that should be free to play eligible, and I think should be great for the community writ large. And of course, what are the milestone rewards? We're talking, they are listing out a bunch of cool stuff like skill tomes, sacred shards, primal shards, void shards, ancient shards, and Tormund the Cold, the legendary champion. That's the final reward. Now, this is the reason why I'm so excited is I don't have Tormund. He was a fusion champion. I think he was a like between October and Christmas fusion champion. I think he was a Christmas fusion champion like 4 years ago. And it was right after I started playing the game and I was just really starting to get into it. And I didn't, save up enough. I didn't think I could do it. And then halfway through the event, I realized, I could have done this if I'd started from the beginning. I was so upset. And then he dominated Arena for so long that it's kind of scarred me to this day. That said, I'm super excited to get him. I've always wanted Tormund. I think he's got a very cool kit, a lot of fun stuff. He's a passive that freezes enemies when they get buffs or turn meter boosts. He has automatic attacks when the enemy gets, I think, HP burns or HP burn and frost on them. He gets, I think when HP burn ticks, he gets an automatic attack. Very cool champion. I think there's some fun stuff you can do with them. Not meta, not by any means, but just kind of fun. And so I'm really excited to get him, quite frankly. So this, I think, should be pretty cool. I'm really excited about this. So really, I think this is going to be a nice event. We'll obviously have to see the details of it to understand whether it's going to be good or bad or how accessible it is. But I'm hopeful that the events in game start trending this direction, right? Because if they do, this is exactly what we've been asking for, right? We've been asking for a little bit more leeway when it comes to these events, a little bit more flexibility in choosing which parts of the events we want to participate in. And I think this goes a long way towards alleviating those concerns. And it makes it a lot more attainable for free-to-play players or low-spend players, right? And I think that's important, right? It's important to allow everybody the opportunity to do these things. It still takes dedication, it takes effort. You have to log in every single day and play every single day to be able to complete these types of events. But I think that's the trade-off. When you're willing to spend money, you're saving yourself time. Big thing, right? Time and energy. And obviously you're going to be able to advance a little bit further, but it shouldn't be at the expense of free-to-play players. So that's kind of what's happening big time in the game right now. So real quick, just before I head off here, I do want to say we got this big map. We had this big collab yesterday where we were live streaming on here on YouTube with Nub Raids, with Cold Brew Gaming, YST, Victor TES, Senda, and we were talking about the new Sronos city, these new dungeon area that they're bringing into the game, this new content that's being added. And I'm actually really excited about it. We're going to see how it comes out, right? I have some reservations. One of the things we were talking about a lot was like, what makes something fun for us? What do we consider good hard content versus just difficult and not fun hard content? And, one of our reservations as a group, it seemed like, was we want interesting mechanics being presented, not just higher stat requirements for our champions. And so that was a lot of the stuff we were going over and talking about. There were some questions about, in the Soul Cross area, how many, how ascended do you need your champions? How much blessings do you need? And I think we answered some of those questions, helped calm down some fears. So there's a lot of little details that we did throw in that video. So I'm definitely going to recommend you check it out. I'll have it linked in the pinned comment in the description of this video. So if you didn't check out that live stream, it's like an hour and 20 minutes, I think. Makes for a pretty good podcast if you just want to play in the background. But I thought we actually covered a lot of stuff, and I'll obviously have that as the the picture you can click on at the end of this video too. So you guys can check that out if you're so interested. But one of the things I was able to do is we all got 6 different pieces of a map, and then we put it together to have the full map of Sronos. So what I did, and I did this for the stream, but I'm going to play that here for you guys, is I actually, for this, I put it to a little bit of music. I gave it subtitles. I put all the audio there, and I have it kind of zooming in on the different sections of the map. So if you're interested, if you haven't been following, here you go. Watch this. You'll see the map. You'll hear the audio, and you'll get a good visual representation of everything that we know so far in the game about this new Sronos city. So I think that should be pretty fun. So that's what we're going to do. So before I get to that, I'm just going to go ahead and sign off now and say, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you hadn't, please hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss my next video that comes out. And till next we meet, the Deadwoodjedi.
Welcome to the free city of Sronos, traveler. The place was once a glittering harbor known as the Jewel of the South, whose wharfs and warehouses were the envy of all. The Galen War nearly ruined the city and robbed it of its luster, but the Sronosi spirit of hospitality still endures. So grab your bags and follow me on a guided tour of this once great city. Starting in its bustling commercial heart. Cobble Market. It used to be a magical place on market day, the smell of spices wafting up on the breeze, the sounds of the hawkers selling their finest wares. Now, well, let's just say it's not exactly prime commercial real estate. Don't leave your belongings unattended, and watch out for pickpockets and undead horrors. The town guard isn't very active these days, so you may have to take the law into your own hands if you're set upon by ruffians. A few swings of your sword and a couple of spells should do the trick. From Cobble Market, you can wander over one of Sronos' many bridges and see the Grand Eclipse Tower looming over the city. Fun fact, the tower was originally used as a lighthouse during the city's heyday, referred to by locals as the Lantern Keep. That, of course, all changed when Amius the Lunar Archon swept into power. Now, this grand fortress is his main residence, and you'll need more than an appointment to see him. You'll need to find 3 special keys to break through the tower's magical wards. But let's keep on with the tour. Our next stop is Plagued with Charm. Now, I know what you're thinking, and yes, you're correct. Plague Home is not the most inviting name. But underneath the overwhelming stench of death, the overloaded plague wagons, and the constant blood-curdling screams, there's really a lot to love. Originally Sronos' cultural hub, Plague Home gained its unfortunate name during the Galen War, where the destruction of the city's flood defenses caused its streets to be submerged by a torrent of fetid water. It then became a mass dumping ground and, naturally, a home for all manner of plague and pestilence. But if you look closely, you can still make out some of the old theaters and cafes that used to line its picturesque boulevards. Keep your eyes peeled as you wind your way through Plague Home. You never know who you might encounter. Thanks to Amius' illusionary magic, you'll have noticed some celebrities moving among the gloom. Why, that's Borgoth the Scarab King hanging around with Hellraiser? Expect a battle for the ages if you decide to face off against this pair. And other fearsome duos that are roaming about, and who knows, you may manage to pilfer a key to the Eclipse Tower should you come out the victor. That's enough plague talk. Let's move on to somewhere a little less aromatic. Blanketed in an eerie glow and bustling with gangs of demented minions, Deadrise is the home of Sronos' killer nightlife. Fortune favors the bold, and you're bound to find some true treasures if you delve deep into this district's haunted streets. While wandering around, don't neglect the special quests you would have received upon entering Sronos. Completing them may yield something truly unexpected. Now, despite the aforementioned baleful glow and powerful sense of dread, Deadrise still remains one of the more high-class districts of Sronos. And that's reflected in the types of horrors you'll encounter walking through its snaking backstreets. Any enemies you defeat here drop better loot than the ruffians you can find in Cobble Market. And the apex predators that rule this region are magical reflections of some of Teleria's toughest bosses. So pack your best gear. Luckily, how you take in the sights of Deadrise is entirely up to you. Take on as many or as few challenges as you like. It's your trip, and any rewards you pick up won't be good if you're dead. Now, let's turn our sights to the final leg of our Cursed City walking tour. Deep breaths, everyone. It's a long and perilous trek. And now, we arrive at the last stop on our Grand Sronos walking tour, Soul Cross. I'm glad you all made it across the ruined bridge, though it's possible we may not make the journey back. Once full of sailors, traders, and travelers here to explore the Jewel of the South. The only thing you'll find here now is terror beyond imagination. So, a perfect place for extreme thrill seekers. Should you get pulled into a brawl here in Soul Cross, expect the fight of your life and rewards to match. One such reward you'll find here are the enigmatic Cursed Remnants. It's not exactly one of Sronos' famous meat and eel pies, but it's something to take home with you to remember your unforgettable trip. There are some locations in Soul Cross and beyond so twisted by dark magics that only champions awakened to their truest potential are powerful enough to enter. I can't even begin to describe what foul creatures and challenges await in those dens of evil. But you can bet the treasures inside will be truly incredible.